to come and pray for us.
Let us pray in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you today, Father, with hearts full of gratitude, as we acknowledge your sovereignty over all things. We thank you for the opportunity to gather here. We thank you for the opportunity to gather here at the launch of the Nairobi Land Justice aimed at fostering justice, an initiative aimed at fostering challenging landscape collaboration. Challenging landscape. We thank you for the land division of the environment and the land court division of the environment. And we seek your guidance and wisdom. And we seek your guidance and wisdom. Dear Lord, we recognize the complexity and diversity. We recognize the complexity and diversity in Nairobi of the land urbanization challenges, coupled with the land division challenges. Lord, that the land discernment to those who serve, grant discernment to those who may navigate through these challenges with justice, that they may navigate through these challenges with justice, fairness, as we embark on this journey through the national, the Nairobi Land Justice through the national, the Nairobi Land Justice for your blessings, upon the efforts for your blessings, upon the efforts to cooperate with all stakeholders. And may this initiative be a beacon of unity. May this initiative be a beacon of unity, fostering a people-centered approach, fostering a people-centered approach to lift the event schedule today. Dear Lord, in your able hands. Bless the preparations in your organizers. And the preparations, the organizers, we are especially grateful for the presence of the honorable. We are especially grateful for the presence of the honorable and guide us towards a future of land. May her words inspire justice and towards a future of land. Lord, justice and equitable land management, and the ongoing work of the land division event, and the Nairobi land justice of the land division into your hands, and the Nairobi land justice wisdom and justice prevail. May your all proceedings and justice prevail in all proceedings and decisions. We offer this prayer in your holy name. In Jesus' name we pray and the Holy Spirit. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين الرحمن الرحيم الصراط المستقيم إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم In the name of Allah, the most gracious and most merciful, praise be to Allah. In the name of Allah, the most gracious and most merciful, praise be to Allah. O God, you alone we live, sustain our worship, and you alone. O God, you alone we believe and worship, and you alone. Allah, grant our leaders wisdom, Allah, grant our leaders wisdom and strength to deliver and right vision and mandate in the best manner to deliver their task. And God, you have entrusted the judiciary with this delicate God, you have entrusted the judiciary justice among your servants. Delicate task, Allah, make this enormous task easy for all our judges. Allah, make this enormous task easy for all our judges. In particular, O God, I pray and invoke your exalted name. In particular, give us, I pray, individually and collectively wisdom, exalted courage, and good to give to protect and improve the motherly and collective wisdom, zeal, courage, and objective of serving, protect and improve the motherly creations of our laws. It serves effectively objective of serving the mankind in your holy and all of the creations of our Lord. We went, we sent their brother Salih in your holy book. He said, "All my people worship Allah." We sent you have their no deity other than Him. He said, "All my people worship the earth." And settle you no deity other than Him. For forgiveness of Him. He has produced you from the earth to Him and settle you. Indeed, my Lord. So ask for forgiveness of Him. Father says, and we have certainly established you upon the earth, my Lord, and made for you there in ways of life. And we have certainly established you upon the earth and made for you the prophet of God says of life is the teaching of our prophet. Whoever unjustly acquire an inch of a piece of land, God says, on the day of teaching of our prophet, for God, whoever unjustly and cycled an inch of a piece of land, the entire on the day of Allah bless our nation before God, love, peace, will be bound and a cycle with the peace and blessing of His neck be upon the entire seven earth and all the Allah bless our nation with love, peace, and unity. May the peace and blessing of Allah be upon His messenger and all the righteous men on earth. Amin.
We may be seated. The Honorable Deputy Chief Justice and Vice President of the Supreme Court of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Lady Justice Philomena Mwilu, the President of the Court of Appeal, Honorable Deputy Chief Justice and Vice President of the Supreme Court of the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Lands, Public Justice, Housing and Urban Development, Honorable President of the Court of Appeal, Honorable Justice Daniel Musinga, Deputy Governor, Nairobi, the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Lands, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development, representative from the Office of the Attorney General, Mr. Oscar Eredi, Deputy Governor, Nairobi County, the Principal Judge of the Environment and Land Court, Honorable Justice Oscar Angote, and all judges of the Environment and Land Court, the High Court of the Attorney General, Employment and Labor Relations Court present, Oscar Eredi, the Chair of the National Land Commission, Mr. Gershom Otachi, the Honorable Deputy Land Public Prosecutor, Honorable Justice Oscar Angote, and all judges, the representative Environment and Land Court, the High Court of the Nairobi Employment and Labor Relations Court, Ms. Helen Namisi, the Chair, National Cohesion and Integration Commission, Reverend Dr. Samuel Kobia, the Honorable Deputy Representatives from the National Council on the Administration of Justice, the representatives from the National Steering Committee on the Implementation of Alternative Justice Law Society, the Acting Chief Registrar, the Chair, National Integration Commission, Reverend Dr. Samuel Kobia, and staff representatives from the National Council on the Administration of Justice, with special mention representatives from the National Steering Committee on Implementation of Alternative Justice, the Country Director of IDLO, the Acting Chief Registrar, representatives from government ministries, registrars, agencies and magistrations, representatives from the judiciary, universities, Development Partners Alliance, with special mention the Kenya Bankers Association, and Mr. Representatives from religious organizations of IDLO, the media fraternity, representatives from government our ministries, ladies, agencies and institutions, good morning. Representatives from universities, the private sector alliance, tells us, the Kenya Bankers Association, greet each other several representatives from religious organizations, at which I ask the media fraternity, all our guests, good morning, and gentlemen, good morning. Wish them a good morning, a very good morning. Thank you. Thank you very much. Tells us thank you for taking time to meet your each other neighbor several times in a day. My name is Judy Omange. I serve in the Environment and Land Court. And wish them good morning. We are glad that you could join us. Wish them a good morning, a very good morning. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for taking time to greet your neighbor. People should be standing. My name is Judy Omange. I serve in the Environment and Land Court. And so today we celebrate. We are glad that you could join us for this important occasion. We take the Constitution of Kenya tells us the way we deliver land justice. That means the people should be standing where we are as guests, but they have given us the Registrar of the Environment and Land Court, so Honorable Rose Makungu, the Land Division starters of Honorable Makungu. Take a people-centered approach in the way we deliver land justice. Allow me to invite our first guest, the Registrar of the Environment and Land Courts, Honorable Rose Makungu, who is going to start us off. Honorable Makungu, please give her a clap as she comes.
As our MC has said, greetings don't grow old. Habari zenyu. Thank you very much. The Honorable DCJ, the Deputy Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Lady Justice Philomena Mwilu. Our MC said, greetings don't grow presiding, old. President of the Court of Appeal, the Honorable DCJ, Honorable Mr. Justice Daniel Justice of the Republic of Kenya, the Honorable CS Philomena Alice Home, and I'll adopt all the protocols that are presiding by our President. Allow me to welcome you to Justice Milimani, the launch of the Milimani, the Honorable CS Justice Working Group, CS Alice Wahome, I'll adopt all the protocols that have been laid down with by our DMC. This working group was born out of an idea, out of the Milimani, the launch of the Milimani Court Users Committee, and it will bring together all the courts and various stakeholders in the Nairobi land justice begins with an idea. As registrar of the Environment and Land Court was born out of an idea, I pledge of the Milimani, our unwavering support land court users to this working group, and it will bring together all the courts to provide technical assistance in the Nairobi land justice access to the legal resources as registrar guidance in navigating the intricacies of land law and the court processes. Our unwavering support. So I will not say much because I know that we have many others to provide technical assistance to the working group, facilitate, but I will leave you with the words of Victor and offer guidance in navigating the intricacies. There is one thing of land law and than all the armies in the world. So I will not say much because I know that we have many other speakers. The time for the land justice working group has come, but I will leave you with the words of Victor who let us seize the moment. There is one cause. We thank you for your dedication to this cause and for making time to be with us today. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Makungu, for making us feel at home. I'll invite now the presiding judge of the Land Division, Honorable Lady Justice Lucy Mbugwa. Karibu, Judge. Let's welcome Judge with a clap.
The Honorable Deputy Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Lady Justice Philomena Mwilu, the President of the Court of Appeal, the presiding judge, the Principal Judge of the Environment and Land Court in Kenya, Oscar Gote, the Cabinet Secretary Lands, all invited guests. Allow me to adopt the protocols which have been laid down in the interest of time, and I'll start. Today we gather here to mark a pivotal moment in the pursuit of justice and social transformation within Nairobi City County, the commissioning of the Land Justice Working Group. The establishment of this working group serves as a powerful testament to our unwavering commitment to confront the intricate and sensitive land issues that have long persisted in Nairobi County. It is a reflection of our dedication to enhance efficiency in the environment and land court as a whole. The working group comprises of representatives of key stakeholders in the land justice sector, and it symbolizes a collective effort to navigate the complexities of land-related disputes. We may ask why and how was this land group formed? As we are all aware, land evokes very deep emotions. It is understood to embrace the ecological, the economic, social, cultural, political, cosmological, and spiritual realms. It is the foundation of shelter, food, work, and a sense of nationhood. The deep-rooted desire to own and use land has given rise to competing claims in private, community, and public land. In turn, this triggers conflicts of great magnitude, which are not easily resolved within the law. Last week, but one, I was in another function where somebody stated that the first murder in the world emanated from a land dispute. I think that was the chair of the National Cohesion who stated that. The Environment and Land Court Milimani Fraternity took cognizance of the fact that land conflicts in Nairobi City County are exacerbated by a number of factors. I'll just mention a few. We are aware that Nairobi City County is an economic hub in the region. There's also rapid urbanization. The court also found that the land tenure system in Nairobi is rather unique, diverse, and complex. There are serious disputes associated with fraud, land grabbing, adverse possession, multiple and double allocations, renewal of leases, sporadic settlements, invasions, name it. The disputes arise in freehold, leasehold tenure systems, as well as in informal settlements. They relate to huge tracts of land, prime land, what we know as 50 by 100, even parcels simply known as plots, market stalls, and even space, what we call space. The net effect has been a metamorphosis of cases in court, where disputes mutate forms and at different times. Another manifestation is to be found in the number of old cases that are active in Milimani ELC court. Currently, the court has active cases which are 3,280. Of those cases, 822 are more than 10 years old. The prosecution and resolution of these disputes are complex and difficult. Another manifestation is that those land conflicts don't just end up in land and environment court. They also emerge as family and succession disputes, commercial disputes, as well as criminal cases. An example, if I can give, is the gang-related violence where networks compete to control public spaces for parking, hawking, and such other activities. With this background, the Milimani ELC fraternity resolved to explore ways of expediting land justice by implementing the judiciary blueprint, that is social transformation through access to justice, that is the STARJ, where the focus is on a people-centered approach to justice. The court zeroed in on the looking outward principle, which entails exploring beyond the institutional boundaries in order to make land justice a reality. And that is how the idea of a working group was conceptualized. Subsequently, the Milimani Environment and Land Court Users Committee discussed the matter and found that pursuant to the Court Users Committee guidelines of 2019, the CUCs, that is the Court Users Committees, have the mandate to establish such task-oriented special working groups as are necessary. To this end, the Land Justice Working Group was established on 29th of September 2023. Further, the guidelines state that the membership of the CUCs shall mirror that of the National Council on Administration of Justice, that is NCAJ. And that is why the key stakeholders in the administration of land justice are involved in this initiative. In short, the Land Justice Working Group has been born by the CUC, and we know that the CUC is anchored at the NCAJ. The Court Users Committees are institutionalized by Section 35 of the Judicial Service Act, which establishes the NCAJ. The said CUCs play a pivotal role in ensuring that there is a coordinated, efficient, and consultative approach to the administration of justice, including collective responsibility, interdependence, service delivery, constitutionalism, mutual accountability, all which form a bedrock of an inclusive and participatory approach in the justice system. The overarching objectives of the working group include, but are not limited to, enhancing the quality of service delivery by all actors in the land justice system, promoting public participation engagement, facilitating information sharing and learning, proposing policies, leveraging on expertise, promotion of alternative dispute resolution mechanisms, undertaking any other activities which enhance access to land justice. In essence, the group aims to expedite land justice using a multi-sectoral approach. That, however, does not in any way affect the independence of each institution, particularly the decision-making aspect of the judges, judicial officers, members of the tribunals, and quasi-judicial bodies. The group will strive to do things better in different ways. Again, in accordance with the CUC guidelines, the group has the mandate to co-opt members on an ad hoc basis as the need arises, meaning that if you have not been factored in the working group, we shall always come to you at any time. As we embark on this crucial journey, let us remain steadfast in our commitment to the pursuit of land justice and transformative change, forging a way towards a more just, equitable, and harmonious dispensation of land justice in Nairobi City County. The way we plan to undertake the exercise is by looking at Nairobi County as per the zones, such that different stakeholders will be dealing with different zones, and we have divided them into 5 zones. As I conclude, I wish to extend my sincere gratitude to the Milimani Court Users Committee for their foresight, support, the judiciary and all stakeholders who have contributed to making this initiative a reality. May our collective efforts illuminate the path where justice in land matters becomes a beacon of hope for all. I will finish with a quote. Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. James Baldwin. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Justice Mbugo. We are welcoming our Honorable Chief Justice. Maybe we can just welcome her. She's right on time, just after the speech ends. Asante, karibu CJ, karibu. We also are welcoming our the Commissioner, the Vice Chair of the Judicial Service Commission. Thank you very much, my lady. We can have our seats. We have just had the registrar of the court who has invited us, and the presiding judge of the land division has shared with us her vision for the working group, told us about the complexities in Nairobi City County that have made us as judges who serve in that division feel sometimes justice needs to be approached from a different angle for us to really have lasting justice. So I'm sure, my lady, you shall catch up as we go on. I will now ask the team from the Environment and Land Court have a skit, which they're going to share with us. I'll request that you come up so that then we proceed. Just some interesting statistics about Nairobi. I am told, and maybe the Vice Chair of the Land Commission will tell us, that only 25%, is it, of Nairobi have titles? Could that be true? Yeah, so maybe part of the challenges we face are the lack of titling in Nairobi. As the courts now are called upon to resolve many of these disputes, which would otherwise not make their way to court at all. My lady, we were also told by the presiding judge that the Nairobi has different unique characteristics in different zones. So you go to Karen, you find the problem is of adverse possession. You go to Eastlands, maybe you find it is land buying companies. But they're all the same. There are places where it's renewal of leases. So the working group is going to be seeing how can we address this problem at the root cause, even as the courts grapple with the cases which are already there, which judges must make a decision in. How do we address these unique challenges collectively, because it cannot be done by the judiciary alone? So I think our team is ready.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Before you will be the ELC team, staff members from the Environment and Land Court, ready to present a skit themed Expedited Land Justice through a multi-sectoral approach. So welcome and enjoy. Hii ni mbichi na imeiva. Ladies and gentlemen, join me on a short journey a journey towards expedited land justice, a journey that can be as long or as short as our collaboration allows. How heavy is the load of delayed justice, and for how long can one bear this load before its weight crushes their spirit? So ladies and gentlemen, join me on this short journey, a journey towards expedient land justice, a journey that can be as long or as short as our collaboration allows. How heavy is the load of delayed justice, and for how long can one bear this load before its weight crushes their spirit? The huge files before you are land cases, cases that have been in the court system for a long time, and the court has belabored itself trying to resolve them in the shortest possible time. See how challenging it is for the court, how overwhelming it can get, the frustration in trying to resolve cases in the shortest possible time. And any delays that arise are frustrating to litigants who are simply trying to get justice. On your left, the two ladies, they are neighbors. They have a dispute over land boundary. Look at the frustration written all over their faces, and then imagine that frustration spanning over years. One of them claims that the other has encroached on part of her land. How will this dispute unfold? And which stakeholder will come in to help rescue this situation and ensure that justice can be found in the shortest possible time? Which stakeholder can help rescue this situation? Is it the team from AJS, Alternative Justice System? Look at the frustration, how heated land matters can be. They are politically sensitive, they are culturally complex. I mean, these are two neighbors living side by side. So which stakeholder can help facilitate justice in this situation? Is it the land surveyor? Because clearly the court get overwhelmed at times. You can see the relief, the reconciliation among the litigants. Now on your left, the two ladies getting on stage. They are strangers, but both of them claim to have original title deeds to the same piece of land. I mean, how can a baby have two biological mothers? And now, like in Solomon, we have to find the real mother to this child. See how overwhelming it can be for the court. Which title deed is legitimate and which is the fraudulent one? And which stakeholder can come in to rescue this situation and bring about justice in the shortest possible time? Is it the land registrar? Is it the DCI? And if both certificate of title deeds are original, then what is the implication? Yourself this. What can I do to make sure that no one ever experiences the anguish of delayed justice? Because is it still justice if it comes several years later? Let us talk about collaboration among different stakeholders. Let us talk about real-time access to land justice. Let us talk about expedited, person-centered land justice. Which stakeholder can help bring about justice in the shortest possible time? Is it Nairobi City County as a stakeholder? Is it the land surveyors? Is it religious organizations? You see, there is strength in unity, and without our stakeholders, these cases will continue to drag out in court longer than necessary, and justice will continue to be delayed. And so we say, teamwork is the best way to expedite land justice, and also teamwork is the best way to make land justice person-centered. So pamoja
tushirikiane tutatue masuala ya ardhi.
Thank you very much to the Environment and Land team. Another clap for them. They have broken down very, very clearly the challenges that are facing the land division in Nairobi. Questions that sometimes judges are called upon to answer when it's not the judge who should be answering it. So now that we're going to be having a good a joint people-centered approach, we shall be able to answer some of those questions earlier, even before judgment is issued, other than answering them after there's already a judgment. I will also recognize Commissioner Ngutia, who also joined us after we had started. Welcome. Thank you so much, Commissioner. We are honored to have you here. I'll call upon Husna Mubarak from FAO, Food and Agricultural Organizations, great friends of the Environment and Land Court, great partners. Karibu sana, Husna.
Honorable Chief Justice, Honorable Deputy Chief Justice, President of the Court of Appeal, the Deputy Chair of the JSC, importantly, Honorable Cabinet Secretary, Chairman National Land Commission, the ELC presiding judge, judges, invited guests, good morning. Allow me also actually to adopt the protocol set earlier. I would like to say congratulations once again in the call of social transformation. Thank you. Social transformation, we've been waiting for this, and it's been at the right time being formulated, especially we are looking at as FAO, not only covering Nairobi, but how we can be able to spread this. And one of the things which is enticing to us is the aspect of calling for people-centered justice. And I think that is the main call, not only in terms of realizing our development goals, but ensuring that everybody is on the table and ensuring that justice is served. One of the other things which I've just observed, and I really need to say it, I don't know if anybody observed this. The skit was quite informative in the sense that it's reminding us of many of ways we could be able to look at land, but also look at the whole justice delivery in the country. I'm not so sure in the lighter note, there are so many women on the podium. Does it mean that women are affected terribly? Probably that's something we should be thinking through. And indeed, in many of the cases, we find the most vulnerable getting affected more. We can't be able to invest, we can't be able to produce on land without ensuring that everything is smooth. Whenever there are conflicts and disputes, everything else stops, including even our all social environment stops. We don't talk to each other, but most thing to note is we don't even live harmoniously. So for us as FAO, we are glad, and as I said earlier, congratulations to Honorable Chief Justice, in the sense that this is something which should be prioritized, and we are glad that this will be able to unlock the development agenda, allow for investments, but also putting into consideration that not only in Nairobi, most of the counties are urbanizing. And as you know, the call, even with the SDGs, the future is urban, so it's high time that we show some precedence in the sense that we are able to sort out all the conflicts and disputes arising from this county to be able to resolve, to be able to work on the on development agenda. Actually, as you realize that the statistics have it, between 70 to 80% of cases within the formal justice system are all land and natural resource and environment related. So for this noble approach, we applaud, but also be able to guarantee our support to ensure that both technically and financially, to ensure that it's able to walk the talk, and we are able to ensure that there are participatory approaches and putting into consideration fit for purpose. You've already heard that there are cases within the 5 zone of Nairobi, there are different cases or they are not similar to each other. So meaning that a fit for purpose approach is welcome, and we should be able to ensure that it's people-centered. Thank you very much for allowing FAO to be part of this noble venture, and we look forward to solve not only Nairobi, in the country. As you're all aware that we are supporting the country technically to be able to look into the land tenure. And I'm glad Honorable CS is here, looking into the digitalization process and security of tenure, and also the National Land Commission Chairman, whom we are working very closely to look at the various ways to resolve disputes and conflicts in the country. Thank you very much, and all the best as we ensure this baby is really starts walking. Actually, this is one of the babies who will not go the normal process. It has to walk and run towards ensuring that everything is delivered. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Husna. And as we talk about the baby who is going to run, maybe I forgot them in my protocol list. Somebody, the working group members, could we just stand? I know you'll have your moment, but just stand and wave. Stand and wave for all of us. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We are going to really require a lot of you in terms of... I will now call upon the Nairobi Law Society Chair, Ms. Helen Namisi, who is speaking on behalf of the LSK. We are really going to work together with them to ensure that the lawyers are with us because we need them very much. Karibu, Chair. Let's give her a warm welcome, please.
The Honorable the Chief Justice of Kenya, Honorable Lady Justice Martha Koome, the Honorable the Deputy Chief Justice, the President of the Court of Appeal, Cabinet Secretary in charge of lands, allow me to adopt the protocol earlier set out. My name is Helen Namisi. I'm stepping in for the President of LSK, Eric Theory. On a light note, Ms. Husna, I did observe that there was no advocate in the group. Maybe we are represented by the AG and the land registrar. The Law Society of Kenya, and in particular the Nairobi branch, is excited to be a part of this working group, which brings together various stakeholders in land administration and justice, united by a cause that is of great significance to the residents of Nairobi and Kenya as a whole. My lady, prior to the establishment of the ELC, whenever a client walked into our offices with a land dispute, at the back of our minds we knew it would be at least 10 years. And that did not include appeals. With the setup of the ELC, we have seen that matters have begun moving, perhaps not as fast as we would prefer them, but moving nonetheless. And the establishment of the various divisions within the ELC is another step towards enhancing and expediting access to justice. Looking at the objectives and the expected outcomes of this working group, it is going to be a paradigm shift in the administration of land justice in Kenya. We commend the land division of the ELC for this visionary initiative based on the principle number 4 of the STAJ that speaks to cooperative dialogue. Through this initiative, we see the actualization of outcomes of STAJ, more particularly outcome number 4 and 5. As the Law Society and Nairobi branch in particular, we commit to support the Land Justice Working Group with a view to achieving its objectives. Collaboration between the bench, the bar, and various stakeholders is definitely a step in the right direction, and we are optimistic that this particular collaboration will go a long way towards clearing backlog and enhancing land justice to all. I say congratulations on this move. We look forward to exciting days ahead as we embark on this new chapter and strive to make this working group an exemplary model for the achievement of land justice in Kenya. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair. I'd actually not noticed that the lawyers were missing from our skit. Yeah, but we really will need the support of the LSK to help us impress on our clients that if we are dealing with family disputes, there are many, by the way, in the ELC land court. It would be better for the family if this matter is resolved faster. We can send it to mediation so that there's a winner, everybody wins, as opposed to court where one person wins, the other loses. So we're really going to be looking forward to partnering with you. There's also the issue raised about STAJ. And this is about making people agents of justice. I think my Chief Justice will correct me if I've not gotten it right. Agents of justice in the delivery of justice. So we saw there, everybody was there, they had a role to play, as opposed to as a judge, when you sit down and deliver judgments. And sometimes we've seen after we deliver the judgment, now people go back to the table to agree. Have we seen that? How nice if it could be that we would all be involved in the process from the beginning. I'll now call upon the Chair of the National Land Commission, Mr. Gershom Otachi, to come and tell us something. Karibu, Chair. Let's clap for him.
Honorable the Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court, Martha Koome, the Honorable DCJ, the CS Cabinet Secretary, Lands, Alice Wahome, my senior in the profession. Much as we were not represented on the stage, we are presented on the front bench. Let me read on the protocols, Honorable CJ. Now, may I start by commending the judiciary, and in particular the ELC, for the innovative step of setting up this, this group. Honorable CJ, also allow me to sort of shower praise on the ELC and its leadership. They are doing a wonderful job, very proactive. And as I always remind them, the ELC and the NLC are twins. We were both conceived by the National Land Policy 2009 as part of the solution to the land problem in Kenya. And subsequently, we were entrenched in the 2010 Constitution. So I think as twins, we are not doing very badly, Honorable CJ. Now, the National Commission, besides its mandate, unique mandate on resolving matters under historical land injustice, also has a constitutional mandate of promoting traditional dispute resolution in land matters. That is over and above the broad mandate to promote AJS. So in that regard, over and above the many other activities we are involved in, we are part, as the Commission, we are part of the NCAJ, consequently the CUCs, under which this program has been set out. We've also actively participated in various programs that have started off. About 2 years ago, with the Honorable Chief Justice, we launched the AJS program in Kajiado as a pilot, and I'm happy to report that from our observation, it's working very well. Kudos to FAO for the support. And I think it's a good start, because as pointed out by the FAO representative, we are looking at people-centered justice. Now, the Commission, of course, through all those broad mandates, also is continuously involved in dispute resolution. When we are allocating land under Section 14 of the Land Act, we are required by law to do a 30-day notice to the public, and any disputes that arise from that, we deal with them. When we are acquiring land, compulsory acquisition, again, when there are disputes after gazette notices, we deal with those disputes. Now, coming to Nairobi, of course, it will be very interesting at some point to take stock of the exercise and how far we have reached in terms of what we have gathered. But the observation I would make as chair of NLC is that the issues in Nairobi that come to our attention are symptomatic of a number of issues across the country. But if we deal with this well under this program, then they shall help us to see how best to do similarly across the country. What kind of challenges do we often notice as a commission? One, there is, before the 2010 constitution, of course, we are dealing with a lot of disputes that predate the current constitution, which has a very robust mechanism for allocation of land. But pre-2010, and many of these cases arise from that, you have concurrent exercise of powers of allocation or control over land. One of the most challenging scenarios in Nairobi is scenarios where the city council would allocate land and the commission of lands would equally allocate land, the same parcel of land. And those cases are common. Thankfully, we have a recent decision of the Supreme Court on a matter like that, on a substantial portion of land where national government has an interest, and the Commission of Lands then purported to allocate that parcel of land, but it turns out that it should have been the county council of Nairobi. Now, of course, the successor is the county that would have had those powers. Now, we also have other disputes between national and county governments. We have disputes, some of them are the things that, because sometimes they are resolved by other mechanisms as envisioned by the law. We have questions about who owns what portion of land, where you have schools allocated, where schools are sitting, where you have a national function of education, then you have a county function of ECD, but they are in the same compound, such scenarios, and other scenarios where the county would be exercising certain jurisdiction and national government thinks otherwise, or vice versa. So those are the kind of disputes that we regularly deal with. In Nairobi, just as across the country, we have a serious issue of squatters, both on public land and on private land. And the issue of how best to resolve those issues. When people have lived on a portion of land for a long time, the Mukuru slums, for instance, people have settled there for a long time, trying to evict them is a problem. How do you resolve some of those issues? Of course, the issue of renewal of leases also has been brought about, and there around also we have those who would not want to go through a formal process which will expose them and would go to the land registry and backdate approvals so that then the lease appears to have been renewed way back when it should be the subject of renewal currently. So, and then of course we have the sticky issue of the land buying companies across. The land buying companies, and this question we've posed to ourselves many times. Land buying companies would be holding large chunks of land, and there are many disputes around them. But because technically that is private, not public, by the very nature of the disputes, you look at them as matters that should be dealt with as matters of public interest. But it's private land, technically. How best are those issues resolved? So, in conclusion, one would ask the question, is a multi-sectoral or multi-agency approach to resolving land disputes an infringement on the judicial function? I think that has been answered by the skit that we've been taken through, that it is important that we are all stakeholders in the exercise, and together we shall resolve these issues. So once again, Honorable CJ, let me commend you for this initiative, and also confirm that we shall work with you through this exercise and other similar exercises. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chair. You have asked very thought-provoking questions, and the best thing is that you will be at the table. You are a member of the working group, well represented there, so we will be answering those questions as we go along, unraveling the challenges that our people face every day in courts, and the best thing, the people will be at the center of it. My lady, I will now call upon Mustafa, Mustafa is also going to break down for us some of the issues we face in a poem. Mustafa, is he ready? Yes, Mustafa will be here. Then we'll continue with the rest of the program.
Somebody asked me, what would I do if I was president? I said, one, don't judge me, don't judge me. One, I said I would make PK the chewing gum for Bob again. I mean, it's just a gum, right? It's not a meal. The second thing I do is, again, don't judge me, I would create adult playgrounds. No? Yes? No? Yes. You know, when you're feeling down, a bouncing castle might just give you your bounce back. But seriously, if I was to be president, maybe I would do it for my mother. I remember the first time I was featured in a newspaper, on a full page. My mother called and said, Kibet, sijamini macho yangu. Unajua hata Ruto akiweka kwa seti wanakatanga miguu yako hakugusa. Tume. My mother does not ask for free things. She just asks for a conducive environment to own things, to run things, to do things, to be. As a people, we're not asking for free things. We're just asking for the country to be fair, so we can own and earn, so we can be and become. As a people, we are not asking for free things. We're asking for the country to be fair to women who are breadwinners, to men who can afford bread but feel nothing like a winner. We're not asking for free things. We're asking for social transformation. We're not asking for rulers. There's a lot a ruler can't measure, like the blood pressure of broke parents trying to survive a dying business. So today, what will we drive when we are driven by social transformation through justice? That just is to say, justice cannot just live inside these walls. It has to exist out there for people to see, to witness, to wake up in the morning and say, hey man, God has been good, amen. And what a chance we have as a people. What a chance we have as a team to step farther, to do farther, and more as a team. What a gift we give. What a gift we are to the future, to the children, to livelihoods and neighborhoods, to the dreams of our fathers, to every tongue of our mothers, Nasimiu, Naserian, Mohammed, Patel, Gatana, Kerubo. Look at how far we've come from when it comes to land justice. Look at how far we are going when it comes to justice on our land. To the Honorable Chief Justice and the Nairobi Land Working Group, Nairobi Land Justice Working Group. May your work bring hope where hope has been shaken. As a people, we don't need to have everything. We have a lot when you still have hope. Thank you. Give it up for Fadili.
Let's give a hearty hand clap to the poet and the musician. He has summed it all. We could almost say that we can go home, but each of us in the room, and especially our guests, I know still has a lot for us. So have your notebooks so that you write this and we go to implement, not just to enjoy. So let's also say clap for MC, Justice Omange. So it's now my pleasure to continue as we invite to hear from more of our guests. I'm Justice Anomolo, who will be taking you through this session. So I'll start by welcoming our principal judge, Oscar Angote, to come and give his remarks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Justice Anomolo, the presiding judge of the Environment Division. Thank you very much, Judge Mange, for taking us through that morning session. Let me start by acknowledging the presence of my Chief Justice, who is also the President of the Republic, the President of the Supreme Court. You should say amen.
Let me acknowledge my Deputy Chief Justice, who is also the Vice President of the Supreme Court, Justice Philomena Mwilu. Let me recognize my CS, the CS in charge of the Ministry of Lands and Housing. Let me recognize my brother, Mr. Gershon, who is the NLC chair and who has really worked with the court since the two institutions were established. Let me recognize the presence of my senior brother, Justice Musinga, the Court of Appeal President. Indeed, I'll share my 5 minutes with my elder brother. Let me recognize the commissioners, JSC commissioners, who are my employers, the Vice Chair, Mr. Masharanjeru, and Advocate Ingotia. Let me recognize all my colleagues, all my friends, all the invited guests, and I can only say thank you for honoring our invitation as the Environment and Land Court. The Environment and Land Court is a court which has two divisions. The DCJ was asking me whether I've now lowered the court from being a court to a division, but this is the land division of the Environment Land Court. We also have the Environment and Planning Division, which is headed by a PJ, that is Justice Anne Omolo. Let me also recognize in a very, very special way the governor's representative. We were supposed to have the governor here, but the deputy governor is with us here, and he is going to pass the governor's apologies. The Chief Justice, I'm delighted to be here to commemorate this commissioning, the commissioning of a group which is of its own kind, because since the establishment of the Environment and Land Court, we've been discussing the issue of how are we supposed to involve all the stakeholders in resolving the complex and the politically sensitive issues of land. And led by Justice Mbugwa, who is the presiding judge of the Land Division, and all the judges of ELC Nairobi, together with the CUC, they came up with what, in my view, is going to be the solution to the many complex land problems that we have in this great county. My lead, the Chief Justice, the creation of the Nairobi Land Justice Working Group is a milestone, in my view, in our efforts to dispense justice and to promote the equitable access to land rights, not only in our city, but also in the entire country. The establishment of this group was informed and it's in response to the ELC at 10 conference that we had in Kilifi in 2022, December. We remember that our development partners, led by Husna, IDLO, were also with us here, and other partners brought all the stakeholders to Kilifi. And it was in that particular conference that we did agree that we need to have a coherent and an all-inclusive mechanism of resolving land disputes. Not only land disputes, but also environmental disputes. And in a very short while, the next few months, we are also going to have a similar engagement with the Environment and Planning Division. The conference, which was a 3-day conference, was characterized by intense deliberations with positive recommendations, which recommendations we are pursuing as the Environment and Land Court. And this is just one of the recommendations that we are actually coming up with, so that we are able to listen to the stakeholders and be able to resolve land disputes as a community. My lady, the communique which was signed in Kilifi, of course, it was signed by the executive. I remember the deputy president signed that communique. We had the members of parliament who were also in Kilifi, they signed the communique. We had our development partners. We had almost all the stakeholders in the land justice system sign that communique. And the communique came up and it explained details how we are supposed to enhance inclusivity in land governance, deepen partnerships, and also stakeholder engagement. We all appreciate that inclusivity in land governance is not only a constitutional imperative, but it's also the CJ's social transformation through access to justice vision, whose vision is we need to transcend the judiciary, not only as the sole forum of justice, but also to include, not just to include, but to make people as the center of justice. My lady, the vision which you have kept on telling us to actually implement, envisions empowering the people, and as Judge Omange has said, to be agents of their own justice. It underscores our recognition and advantages which are often offered by the alternative justice systems which have always been there even before the formal justice system found its way to this country. This system, ladies and gentlemen, complements and it strengthens the formal legal process. We are not saying that we are doing away with the formal process, because the Constitution says, or rather stipulates, that we must have the legal formal process, and the judiciary has just been delegated the authority by the people to be at the center of that process. But it is the informal settlement system is what the Constitution envisages as we continue performing our delegated jurisdiction. We all know, ladies and gentlemen, that Nairobi's strategic location, its robust infrastructure, and being a hub not only in Eastern Central Africa but also in the continent, has faced so many significant challenges when it comes to land management and governance. And these obstacles have been a hindrance to the development and prosperity of the city and the country. The challenges have been systemic, endemic, and of course, as the MC Judge Omange mentioned to us, and also Judge Mbugua, who gave us a detailed preview of why we came up with this committee, we are aware that all these issues are due to the urbanization, population growth, and the unavailability of land, because as we all know, land does not expand. The 2022-2023 caseload in Milimani Land Division shows that we have approximately 3,500 cases. Out of those cases, 800 cases are more than 10 years old. And we are not proud of these statistics. And therefore, we thought that we must come up with a mechanism of not delaying justice, as we've just seen from this particular case. So we must, and we had to come up with some innovative mechanisms of dealing with these particular cases, especially the 800 land cases. And my lady, the problem with Nairobi is that we deal with these matters, but they just don't go away. We deal with so many post-judgment applications, and that means that even after you deliver your judgment, the cases will still revolve around the court in terms of applications and in terms of the appellate process, which most of the time you'll find that even most of the matters that go on appeal are still referred back to the ELC, and it starts all over. Of course, the main problem that we've experienced in Nairobi is the emergence of fresh cases in courts. So you deal with the cases, but new parties come, meaning you have to hear them again, and therefore you go on and on a particular land issue. And therefore what we are saying is that once we involve all the residents of Nairobi through this particular group, we are able to deal with the land disputes once and for all, so that we don't keep on litigating over the same issues or facts. We have realized at the Environment and Land Court, and of course all of us here, that property owners have more often than not been left in limbo, unable to utilize or benefit from their land because of the many disputes that we have. And these disputes have even, in some cases, actually affected government projects. And I'm happy that the CS is here, so that we are able to see how do we deal with the cases to an extent that they do not affect projected government projects. Of course, we have the uncertainty, the delays, and this has a cost implication, not just to individuals, but also to the country as a whole. And of course, those exacerbate social tensions, which we've witnessed in the past. My dear Chief Justice, in response to these challenges, the Nairobi Land Division of the ELC, together with the CUC, has zoned the city into 5 zones, and Justice Mbogwa summarized those 5 zones with their unique problems and how this working group is going to deal with those issues and give us a report. The Nairobi Land Justice Group is composed of judges of the ELC and the representatives who are here of our key stakeholders. And 3 main issues are going to arise from this working group. The first one is to identify the root causes of land disputes within the zones that are going to be mandated to visit and just listen to the people. The group will also identify the systemic challenges and in the administration of land justice, so that they are able to identify those particular challenges. And lastly, they will recommend the appropriate and effective interventions, which we will follow through. In undertaking its mandate, the group is expected to create a comprehensive work plan, get input from the members of the public and the stakeholders across the 5 zones. And as you've just witnessed from the skit and as it will be presented to you, you will see that these stakeholders are from the groups or the sectors which we think play a key role in the cycle of land administration, land registration, land buying companies, and all those other groups that are usually involved in land transactions. Finally, my lady, the Chief Justice, says that together let us forge towards the path of a more just and cohesive society, so that land disputes should not be a source of conflict, but they should remain as assets which we should all enjoy. And with the permission of the Chief Justice and the MC, I would invite my brother, Justice Musinga, who is the President of the Court of Appeal, just to tell us 1 or 2 words. And I hope that that will be within my 5 minutes. Thank you very much.
Chief Justice, in the interest of time, allow me to adopt a protocol that have been well laid, because you here have been given a minute. Let me start by thanking you, PJ, or Environment and Land Court, and all the judges in that court. I want to say that from where I sit, the jurisprudence that I see coming from your court is sound, coherent, and consistent jurisprudence, and you're doing an excellent job. When I look at the appeals that come to us, I think it's only about 10% or so that end up being allowed. Most of them, it shows that the work that has been done in that court is very good. I want to say, although there are very many matters that you are handling, it is a court that is also working very efficiently, because I see a matter that was filed 3-4 years ago. I see the appeals now coming before us. Having said that, the centrality the primacy of land as a factor of production cannot be underscored, because we know we were created from the land, we live on the land, we eat from the land, we drink from the land. When we die, we're buried on that particular land. These appeals, when come to our court, need to be disposed of expeditiously. And I see, and I would like to say, Chief Justice, for the record, that indeed most of the appeals that we have in the Court of Appeal emanate or have something to do with land. I know there has been an element of delay in disposal of these matters at the Court of Appeal. But you all know the challenges that the court has been facing. In that regard, I want to thank you, Chief Justice and JSC, because I see you've taken a positive step to advertise for 11 Court of Appeal judges, and that is the right thing that you have done so that we can expedite these matters. Because we need to have these matters resolved with finality so that life can move on. The skit that we've seen here is very educative, and I thank and congratulate those who came up with that idea. It shows us one thing. We need all hands on the deck to resolve the perennial land-related disputes that we have. And I am sure if we are going to have the cooperation of all the relevant stakeholders, as we have seen in this case, although I have heard a few of them were missing here and there, don't worry. They were just giving us a typology of what ought to happen. But I'm saying where Kenya is now, we really need all hands on deck to see that the people-centered justice in matters land is enhanced so that we can live harmoniously as a society. With those few remarks, once again, I congratulate you, my brother PJ, and all the organizers of this wonderful function. Thank you.
Thank you, the principal judge, and you've been welcomed. For those who came after the registrar had welcomed you. So the host, you heard from the host mouth that you are all welcome. And we thank you for coming, because we do not want a situation where you cook food for a party and no one comes, then you go to look for people to come and eat. So this collaboration will not be effective unless we own it, and we thank you for coming. And he has acknowledged the challenges that we have, and from the poet who said that we collaborating so that we enable Kenyans to be and to become. And so I would welcome the commissioner, our employer, that facilitates us in the work that we do, to come also make his remarks. Commissioner Macharia, karibu.
The Honorable Chief Justice, the Honorable Deputy Chief Justice, the Honorable CS, Chair, the Deputy Governor, the Principal Judge, the President of the Court of Appeal, my colleague, the Honorable Judge is present, JOs, staff, and all the other distinguished guests. Let me also take this opportunity, Honorable Chief Justice, to congratulate you once again for the realization of your stage vision, because this is part of it, and also the Principal Judge for the very good work that has been done in terms of coming up with this initiative, a people-centered approach to this justice system. I wish to associate myself with what the President of the Court of Appeal has said, that matters of land, it is not an exaggeration to say that they run at the center of our society, and not just in Kenya, but also beyond. When we talk about land ownership, when we talk about land use, and also matters of environment, that's what actually preoccupies a lot of human beings every other day. it's a critical area, and in fact, it's for that reason that even in our constitution, this whole chapter that concentrates on these areas of matters of land, environment, and all that. There's a reason for that. And we really need to also have honest conversations amongst ourselves, because a lot of times it's not for lack of the various agencies or organs that are supposed to resolve these disputes. It is the people themselves who man those agencies, who man those organs. And for the key players who are here, I'll tell you something that the judges will not tell you, that a lot of backlog and the cases that they have would actually not end up in courts if the agencies were doing their work correctly. If Lands Office, for instance, the Lands Officer, because how do you explain a situation whereby you have 2 or 3 sets of documents that relate to the same land if the work was to be done correctly there? How do you explain, for instance, where an investigation is done by an agency that is given powers under the Constitution, and they come up with an investigation that is skewed in favor of a fraudster against the rightful owner? How do you explain, for instance, like even an organ, say like National Land Commission, where they'll come up with a report that is in complete contradiction with the reality of who is the rightful owner? How will you explain, for instance, the Nairobi County government, where you see complaints all the time that there are all these towers that are coming up next to neighborhoods without the corresponding infrastructure, boreholes running dry because this overutilization of the land, traffic gridlock, so many, we find petrol stations all over, establishments, bars that are next to schools. So we must have honest conversations and accept that the problem is us, the people. That unless and until we start realizing that we owe it to ourselves and future generations to do the right thing, we keep giving a lot of work to the courts. This backlog, because ultimately, when people are dissatisfied with what the other agencies do, they have to go back to court. But it would make the work of the courts very easy if we just ensure that the agencies are all in a collaborative manner working together. It's my sincere hope, Honorable Chief Justice, that with this kind of an approach, we can be able to start resolving some of these issues. Let me end by saying this. Last night, Honorable Chief Justice, I was watching a production, there was a documentary of the song We Are the World. For those who are a little bit older, the younger ones may not remember it, but in 1985, there was the We Are the World song that was meant to fundraise for the famine-stricken people of Ethiopia. And I was looking at all those artists, music artists, very famous music artists, as they were practicing. Incidentally, they did that song in one night. They were very rich, they were famous, they were known, we all wanted to be like them. But it dawned on me that a good number of them are now dead. They are gone. Another good number of them are aged, they're old and frail, they're no longer there. So I got thinking, how do we remember some of them? Because we do remember a good number of them who are long dead or those who are old and frail. It is the spirit of the good that they did through that song and many other activities. So the question we ask ourselves, we are in positions of influence. All of us who are here, in one way or the other, we are influential. But there will be a time when you will no longer be influential. You'll be gone. It's a hard reality. Each one of us come and you go, and somebody else comes in. There will be a time you'll be old, or probably you are dead. How do you want to be remembered? What is the spirit that will keep on living on? Because it will not be the money, it will not be the power, you will not be remembered for it, but it's the good work or the impact that you made in the society. So the question we need to ask ourselves again, how do you want to be remembered? What is the spirit that you live on as you depart? May God bless you. May God bless this project. May God bless our country. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, Commissioner and Vice Chair of JSC, for the good remarks. And we hope that the working group presents the opportunity to have the honest conversations. So it's now again my pleasure to invite the Director of Public Prosecutions. You saw there was a part for the DCI to do something. So come and share your remarks with us. The Director of Public Prosecution. Okay, then we can have the Deputy Governor for Nairobi, His Excellency James Njoroge Muchiri, to also come and give us, we are at the center of it all. So Karibu.
The Honorable Justice Martha Koome, Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court of Kenya, the Deputy Chief Justice, Philomena Mwilu, CS for Lance, Alice Wahome, allow me at this point to adopt the protocols there before established very ably by the earlier MC. And I'm here representing His Excellency Governor Sakaja, who is out of the country on official duties. My name is Njoroge Mushiri. I'm the Deputy Governor of Nairobi. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very pleased to see so many distinguished jurists, activists, and public servants here today, people who have the good of the community at heart. It is a pleasure to join you today. I want to start with a word of comfort to the people of Embakasi who have been affected by the fire tragedy that we saw. And I would want probably at that point to comment that is also Amradi. Amradi is one of these things that we are talking about where people get onto a piece of land and settle, and then all these other matters follow us. I'm hoping with all of us here and with this program, we should be able to sort, hopefully, that kind of challenge as well. The county and national governments have been working closely together to offer treatment, shelter, and counseling. But most importantly, I want you to know that our hearts and our prayers are with all those affected, and we walk this journey with you. Before I say much more, let me just mention what a pleasure it has been working with the judiciary. Ever since our administration took office, we have found the judiciary eager to help, quick to understand our problems, and slow to blame or complain when things don't go as well. And I want to remind you that we have had a conversation about parking, which we are still resolving. So, I think we have all had the usual complaints. The usual complaints, cases take too long to be decided. Courts speak a language we ordinary mortals can't understand or comprehend probably. The judiciary doesn't take full advantage of new technology or alternative means of dispute resolution to settle matters, etc., etc. So I'm very grateful that the judiciary, after reflection and consultation, is bringing justice to the people through the Nairobi Land Justice Working Group. Recently, the judiciary has established court user committees. They help to ensure that justice is done while enhancing public participation and stakeholder engagement, while developing public understanding of how the courts actually work, and by promoting effective justice sector partnerships and advancing application of alternative dispute resolution mechanisms. In the skit here, I saw the representative of the county government was armed with a rungu. I believe that is not a tool for alternative justice dispute resolution. We use it as a tool of last resort to encourage creating a city of order and dignity, hope and opportunities for all. So please bear with us. We are customer focused, we are customer friendly. And that's what we do. We all know how difficult and expensive legal disputes are, especially about land. When we took office, one of our priorities was settling outstanding disputes and setting up mechanisms to protect our future. No property owner or tenant should feel unsafe in his or her possession for fear that their locations were badly or unlawfully done. We need certainty, and we shall get it. Is why I want now to appreciate the Environment and Land Court Users Committee for formulating a proposal to overhaul administration of land justice in Nairobi. We recognize the role of the CUCs to provide judiciary with an opportunity to make the justice system more participatory, inclusive, since the public is represented by all arms of government, civil society organizations, and private sector players. It brings together a whole range of people from both levels of government
everyone from the Ministry of Internal Security to our experts on land rights here in the county, as well as legal experts and advisors from civil society. The idea is to bring administration of justice in this matter as close to the people as possible. This working group is an idea that is long overdue. Nairobi County is obviously a central stakeholder in the implementation of this proposal. We need clarity in land ownership, and we need transparency and justice in land-related matters, which are of paramount importance to our constituents in Nairobi. If you doubt this, just consider the future of the county without strict property rules. As the capital city of this great nation, Nairobi is envisioned as a strategic city firmly interconnected through a network of roads, railways, ports, airports, waterways, and telecommunications. As such, expeditious disposal of land cases will go a long way in the achievement of this vision. It is for this reason that land reform is one of the foundations of Vision 2030, and the land division is a key player in the attainment of that vision. Records from our legal department show that the routine disputes finding their way into this court revolve around double allocation, public land, service, possession, lack of zoning and enforcement, fraud, double allocation, expiry of leases and subleases, squatters, adverse possession, unethical practices by land buying companies, impersonation, squatters, informal settlements with claims on land, community land, and renewal leases. The list is endless of the sources of these challenges. Whereas the individual judges have done their best to resolve individual disputes in accordance with the law and the particular facts of each individual case, it has become apparent that for real social transformation to occur, the court needs to work closely with stakeholders to formulate strategies to not only expedite land justice, but to ensure that justice dispensed by the judiciary meets the justice needs of the people. For this administration, you can be sure that I will back you all the way. I have warmly appreciated the judiciary's help, and I'm happy to be able to show my gratitude by helping you in any way I can. May justice be our shield and defender, and may the judiciary and all our public servants continue serving diligently. God bless you all. Asanteni sana. His Excellency Sakaja Arthur Johnson, EGH, Governor of Nairobi City County. I think I don't need to add anything over my boss's speech because I think it's to the point, but we appreciate the piece of work being done here, and I know we have some of our officers who are also in the working group, so we are represented and we are looking forward to the output of their work. I thank you very much.
Thank you, the Deputy Governor, His Excellency, for accepting to be part of the team so that we bring justice to the people in a language they understand, because it will be coming now from the team members. Now again, we'll welcome the representative of the Honorable Attorney General to come and give us his remarks on Oscar Eredi. Karibu. He represents both the government and the private sector in the skit. So,
thank you, Justice Omolo. Honorable Chief Justice and the President of the Supreme Court, Honorable Deputy Chief Justice and the Vice President of the Supreme Court, Honorable President of the Court of Appeal, Honorable Presiding Judge, Honorable County, beg your pardon, Honorable Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Lands, and also the Chairman of the National Land Commission, judges, magistrates, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. My name is Oscar Eredi. I am a Chief State Counsel in the Office of the Attorney General, and I've been representing the Attorney General in court in the last 20 years. It's a great honor and privilege to represent the Attorney General here at the commissioning of the Nairobi Land Justice Working Group. Since the establishment of the ELC court in the Constitution in 2010, as one of the superior courts with the mandate to hear and determine disputes relating to environment and use and occupation of land and title to land, this was a watershed moment in the administration of justice, especially with regard to land and environment matters. This court has been in existence for the last 11 years and has made remarkable strides towards administration of justice and environmental justice in the country. Ladies and gentlemen, with the establishment of these specialized courts, the Office of the Attorney General also was reformed to establish divisions to reflect the new court structure within the litigation department. These reforms included the establishment of the specialized division in the civil litigation department that exclusively deals with the land and environment matters. The Honorable the Attorney General, or the Office of the Attorney General, as the Chief Legal Advisor to the government, has the mandate to promote, protect, and uphold the rule of law, and also to defend public interest. Therefore, the Attorney General is a very important partner and a stakeholder to the judiciary, and more so to the Land and Environment Court in determination and resolution of land disputes and dispensation of justice. In this regard, Honorable Chief Justice, we draw great inspiration from the judiciary strategic vision, which is dubbed social transformation through access to justice, as a roadmap to the judiciary that seeks to give impetus into transformative promise of the Kenyan Constitution, whose goal is to develop a justice system that is inclusive, participatory, accountable, responsive to the aspirations of the people of Kenya, including the marginalized and the vulnerable. Chief Justice, there is no doubt, therefore, that expeditious disposal of land matters within the Nairobi city will accelerate the attainment of this vision. The Office of the Attorney General is a major stakeholder, therefore, and a key partner in attaining this vision in view of its mandate. Ladies and gentlemen, on our part, we are happy to note that the Nairobi County Court Users Committee found it necessary to reconsider and re-engineer the approach in administering justice in the city of Nairobi, or in the Nairobi City County. To this end, we expect that the formation of the Nairobi Land Justice Working Group, which is chaired by the head of Milimani ELC Land Division and comprising of other judges, representatives from key stakeholders, including the Ministry of in charge of National Security, Lands, and also even the Office of the Attorney General, will go a long way to entrench the rule of law in the land sector in the city county, and this will lead to realization of the social and economic transformation through expedited resolution of disputes. My lady, the Office of the Attorney General is ready and eager and will continue to cooperate with you and offer all the support that is necessary to ensure that this working group succeeds. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. All the speakers appreciate that as representatives of the people in positions of trust, we have to make sure that we do our best to ensure that the public is served well. And so we thank you for the collaboration and for joining us today. We'll have a short video just for the judges expressing how we'll be doing this before we have our next speakers. Kindly, let's have the video.
Nairobi as a county has got unique cases in terms of the zones, and these zones have got their own unique problems. Double allocation of land, where more than one person is allocated the same piece of land. We have got cases of encroachment, either on public land or on private land, land which does not belong to them. Then we have the issue of informal settlement. This is a claim where somebody claims land for having been on that land for more than 12 years. Renewal of leases. Most of the leases in these zones have expired or are almost expiring. And therefore, when it comes to renewal of those leases, we find that we have other people in between who want to benefit from the expired leases. Then we have the issue of people who are either dead and nobody is able to identify who they are. So we have these 5 zones, and within those 5 zones, we are going to have stakeholders who know the problems within the zones and how we are supposed to deal with those problems.
Land matters in Nairobi are very complex, particularly because of the tenure system, where we have diverse tenure system holding, and we felt that there was a need to approach the issues grappling Nairobi County through a multi-door approach. We looked at the CJ's blueprint, that is the STARJ, social transformation through access to justice. And we found that there was a need to deepen partnerships with the stakeholders. And we found that the court users committees is the best platform to achieve our mandate.
The Land Justice Working Group for Nairobi is a very innovative idea. It's an idea that the Land Division, led by the presiding judge of that division, formulated. And more importantly, it is a decision which was made by the Court Users Committee. We have not been utilizing the Court Users Committee optimally, and I think this is the best opportunity for us to use the Court Users Committees to resolve most of these disputes.
We are realizing that the solution is really not just court decisions and judgments. The solution is actually within the community, and a lot of the community people have the answer to what is it that is plaguing them. We are looking at an approach which requires awareness creation in the community, requires involvement of opinion shapers in the community, church leaders, of course the government leaders who are also within the community, so that everybody is at the table.
We are undertaking various programs, particularly the establishment of the working groups. It is not just the Land Justice Working Group. Through the Court Users Committees, we have established that Land Justice Working Group, the Environment and Planning Working Group, as well as the Alternative Justice System Working Group. The expected outcomes would include enhanced public and investor confidence, entrenching the rule of law. We hope to eliminate land syndicates and fraudsters. We hope to bring about people-centered approach in land justice. And we also wish to bring social order and collective responsibility.
There's a maxim that we say in law that ignorance of the law is not a defense. But there are a lot of people who walk through our courts who are completely ignorant. And you can't sit there and ignore the fact that we are living in a society where sometimes information is hidden from people deliberately. And so the court needs to look at ways of educating the community, to give them information so they understand the law that governs the land upon which they are settled.
The Commission is involved in the CUC, the Court Users Committees, and I think there was a formal launch of the CUCs not too long ago, I think about a year or two ago, and we are part and parcel of the CUCs. And of course, in the court annexed mediation, generally, we are fairly active. Then we have this AJS program, which was launched about 2 years ago in Kajiado as a pilot, where we are working together with the judiciary, with the AJS committee, headed by a judge of the judiciary. We are part and parcel of that to see how it is that matters can be resolved outside the court system, within the context of community norms, community understanding of issues, and with as much informality as possible, so that then you find solutions that are then also acceptable, not just to individuals, but the community at large.
The future is great. As a court, we have drastically reduced the backlog of cases, pending cases, or 30,000 cases. Currently, as we speak, the court has pending cases of 15,000. This is by more than 100% almost every year. And therefore, the rate of reduction of the backlog has been amazing.
Let everyone support us. We move together for the better of our country.
By more than 100% almost every year. And therefore, the rate of reduction of the backlog has been amazing.
Let everyone support us. We move together for the better of our country.
Let the 15,000 number of cases not scare you. That's for the whole country. Yeah, for Nairobi, we have about 3,200. So we have with us one of our key stakeholders who has graced this occasion, and we do not take your presence for granted. Honorable CS, Honorable Ellis Wahome, Minister for Lands, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development. You are welcome to give your remarks. We can clap for the CS.
Thank you very much, the moderator, for this part of the program. Presiding Judge of the Environment Division, Honorable the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya, my good friend, Justice Martha Koome, Lady Justice Martha Koome, President of the Supreme Court, and of course, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya, accompanied by the DCJ, Lady Justice Philomena Mwilu. I can see all the protocols have been observed, but let me just take the minute to recognize the President of the Court of Appeal, Justice Musinga. It's been a long time. I have appeared maybe a few times before you when I was practicing. And then, of course, the Principal Judge of the Environment and Land Court, my chairman, the chairman from the NLC, a good friend and colleague, now working together, basically around the same maybe jurisprudence and also sector. All the judges who are here, including distinguished commissioners of JSC, my good friend Masharia, we have practiced together. The honorable judges who are present and our partners. I will reach there, and excuse me if I leave any protocol not observed. I am most pleased to be here this morning, but it has of course moved to afternoon. And it's not too late to do the right thing. I'm very pleased to be part of this process, Madam CJ, because from where I sit, I can tell you, I'm wondering whether I'm opening a private practice on land law because every day I see matters coming with the requests or being served as a litigant in the defense, mainly in the defense, and of course seeing many letters and requests from the state councils through the office, the distinguished office of the Attorney General. So I want to maybe go into my written speech, and with the permission or forbearance from the participants, I will say just a few things of the written speech. Then allow me to say that I'm delighted to be part of this significant occasion as we inaugurate the Land Justice Working Group. This is coming after the court users committees have already been in place, so I would say it is a product of the work within the Environment and Land Court, and especially developed by the Court Users Committee. The objective of this working group is to address the root causes of land, from what I understand, even from the presentations, disputes in Nairobi, and to devise innovative ways of expediting land justice in the area that we have agreed to tackle. The Ministry of Lands and the ELC partners, in the goal of strengthening land tenure and land justice system, commits to work with this group. The strategic vision of the ministry is to provide secure land tenure and sustainable built environment for all. Our strategic mission is to provide efficient land administration and management, access to adequate and affordable housing, social and physical infrastructure for sustainable development. Many people call me, most of the time people call me Minister for Lands. I'm Minister for Lands, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development. So those issues that I have mentioned there, including physical planning, is within our ministry. The ministry's responsibilities cover crucial roles, including the formulation of land use plans, land allocation, land registration, and titling, planning and allocation of land for agriculture, settlement for the landless, allocating land for efficient planning, zoning, and establishment of industrial parks and markets. In addition to its land-related functions, the ministry is also tasked with the other roles, including the crucial task to deliver 250,000 affordable houses per year under the Housing and Urban Development State Department. Ladies and gentlemen, Madam CJ, the decision by the Environment and Land Court to set up this multi-sectoral working group that brings on board all stakeholders, including the Ministry of Lands and those other state departments, is a commendable job, initiative that will be a game changer. That's the way we see it, for improving land tenure and land justice. The objectives of the working group are in line with the strategic goals of the State Department for Lands and Physical Planning of securing land rights for all and land use planning for sustainable development. We all recognize the fact that land is said, and it is in years. This, in our estimate, brings a financial value of 500 billion that is, of course, held at ransom or just put in abeyance without being able to utilize or plan for the land. Resolving disputes then expeditiously is critical for proper land use planning, which in turn is the cornerstone for sustainable development and decent human habitat, access to water, health, among other public services. In the case for Nairobi or of Nairobi, Institution of Surveyors of Kenya, and I think they should be part maybe of this group if titling, so you can see work ahead is a lot for all of us. In 2024 and 2025, we have committed to prepare and issue at least 420,000 title deeds. That is the amount of the number of titles in my performance contract that I found my predecessor, Zakaria Jero, having signed, and I have, of course, after handover, adopted the same. We also plan to georeference 40% of all land parcels in the country by 2025. The ministry will develop a cabinet memo and policy to guide a national multi-purpose cadastre problem, especially in the coastal region. The government has increased budget from the statement filed in the court by way of statement in terms of evidence, witness statement. So a registrar like that one obviously requires to be summoned immediately also by the DCI and by the minister and the PS to answer questions of either double standards or collusion and things like that. So we have decided that we will call the holders of those three titles, let's say for that matter, our administrative process, write it to you, bring your title, because a complaint has come to my desk, and I'm being asked, my title, my land is being grabbed. I cannot sit or refer those people to court until first and foremost, I know where the problem or what is the problem. And once I find that it is my office that has been part and parcel of that fraud, am I supposed to tell an old lady who many times is maybe 70, 80, or the elderly, go to court? By the time they clear with the 10 years that we have agreed cases are pending, they will have died. So it will have now to be a succession matter first. A dispute within the succession file comes up, and then the families start fighting, including also killing each other. I think when I was sitting next to the chairman here, he told me, somebody said the first case, murder case, was about land. I think in Kenya, many land cases have contributed to killing, and we know. They have also contributed to theft. They have contributed to poverty. People are agonizing. I can tell you, like the other day, I was dealing with and it is really, the elderly are most vulnerable. The widows and widowers are also targets. I have had to deal with, I have dealt with an elderly white woman. I mean, they are not choosing. White woman who came and told me she's 83. She's been living in Karen for 40 years. She's still holding her title. She comes with her lawyer, who is able to explain himself, this is the title that we have. And there are other people who are bothering my director of survey to do an RIM, do amendment, and issue other titles. They have gone to even her home to threaten her, and they are armed. Who are these people? What are these people? I have had also another lady who is, I think she's a Kikuyu come Asian. She lives in Isri. People come to her house, and she's told, your land, this land is being sold. She said, but I'm the owner of the land, and I have not sold. She's about 87. Luckily, she is in her right mind, good health, very good health. So I asked, can you come to the office? Because her granddaughter is the one who called me. I said, where is the owner of the land? She's here in Isli. Bring her to the office. She comes with her papers. And somebody is busy trying to bucket her land. Last week, a lady from Kandara, I think had come to the office of not getting a solution. Her title is okay, but she's been taken around because there are people trying to change the title. When she arrived in the office, I was away. And she said, I've come here to see the minister only. She was asked, please, can you see other officers? You'll be helped. She said, no, until the minister comes, or you tell me when the minister will come. So she was asked, leave your contacts. At that stage, I don't know who she is. So she left her contact. But as I was driving into the survey of Kenya, we have an office there. She saw the vehicle and the flag. That she went back. She came back. When she came to the office, after she explained her story, she's very conversant with her matters. She explained, looked at her document, and I can tell clearly that somebody is trying to steal her land. She then has a court order of eviction of the people, but they haven't given up. The point is, you have said there will be a high court judgment, there will be a court of appeal judgment. I think they are now looking for a way to come to the Supreme Court, these fraudsters. So when I told her, I think your land is safe, she went on her knees and started crying. These are very emotive and emotional scenes that if you sit in the office of the cabinet secretary, and I think it's because they have seen that maybe we have taken up matters of fraudsters, in a different angle, in a different manner. What I want to say is that then we will call these people with their titles. If you don't bring your title, we will rectify the register. And it's okay, we are also aware that we shall be taken to court. We don't mind litigating over that because either way, there will be a litigation. So to either way, there will be, because if the genuine title holder is denied ownership, her title or his title is gone, that person will not rest. They will end up in court. But if a fraudster's title is cancelled, the fraudster to come to court. So I would want to ask the team to interrogate, because in elections there is an election chain. There is an election chain. I think we may have to create a large justice chain so that we can each interrogate where I know for sure our ministry is contributing to the number of cases because of mishandling documents, because of partaking to these manenos that are happening. But while I am the cabinet secretary, Madam Chief Justice, I want to tell you where I'm clear that the title is messed up. I will take action that is necessary within the law. Without overreaching, we will not shy. Just last week, a major fraudster, some are very powerful, some are murderers, very powerful, others will drop names, walked into my chief land registrar's office, and he's a senior person in terms of leadership, and threatens my registrar. What is that? Because you can see there are others who will report the minister is doing ABCD, the chief land registrar is now affecting the title. What is it that you are doing with my records? Return those things that you are removing. You see, if we find that in our system we have loaded fraudulent documents, for sure we will strike them out. So you come and tell me why I should return them. So I want to commit, and I know that I think we appointed Sarah Maina. I don't know whether Sarah is here. Yes, that is Sarah Maina, is a senior land registrar, and she will be part of the working group. So maybe that's the end of my story. The story is long, within 3 months. There is a lot of, there are many incidences. Of course, the Kerema incident is one, the Portland. I can tell you, if I sat down to deal with them, I would be maybe the most haunted and hounded person in terms of these people are not resting. Madam CJ, they are not resting. Fortunately, we are in the right place, and it is us to deal with the problem, and we have sworn to defend the rule of law and the Constitution, and therefore we shall remain faithful to the law. Thank you very much. Finally, Madam CJ, I know we have also been part of the problem in terms of expeditious delivery of justice, in terms of my ministry not responding to the Attorney General on time, so that the courts are having a situation where the Minister for Lands, the Chief Land Registrar is either not represented. That is something between myself and the Attorney General we need to agree, and I know that some of the representative, we call him Oscar. Oscar is one of the very senior officers with the Attorney General, and Alan. There is no day they write to our officers. And therefore, I want to say that we are looking at the registry and the legal section within the ministry, so that we can be able to produce documents and to avail witnesses for purposes of proper determination. And I will to you, Madam CJ, to ask for, because I know you have case management, you You are now the leader in the management of cases in terms of the judiciary, but that is not the case with the ministry. So I've challenged my technical teams to come up with, first they must establish their registry properly, and the legal section there must be robust, and we'll be writing to you for support in terms of technical support by way of personnel, even if for training purposes. 2 or so clerks would do, and maybe any other technical support in terms of case management, because they have found that there is need to also organize that part. Otherwise, you'll be asking for documents, there is need to respond, and the case has to be dealt with expeditiously. Thank you very much.
We can see the benefits of the working group in the manner of sharing of information, and even undertaking to acknowledging our weaknesses and our strengths, and how we can, what we can do to achieve our best. And from the CS comment, it is not too late to do the right thing. So CS, Madam CS, we have the ISK and the Kenya Bankers Association as part of the Land Justice Working Group. And I know as they'll be meeting and continuing, if there'll be any body that may have been left out, will still be co-opted. Thank you very much. And now it's my greatest pleasure to invite the Deputy Chief Justice, Honorable Lady Justice Philomena Mwilu, and Vice President of the Supreme Court of Kenya, to come and give her remarks. Thank you.
Asante sana, my sister. I have a hoarse voice. Please don't ask questions as to why it's hoarse. It is none of your business. Please stand up. Let's stretch kidogo. For myself, we've been sitting since so long ago that do what makes you happy to stretch, to get back to this exciting meeting. And thank you very much. You sit at your pleasure. The Honorable the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya, who is also the President of my court, thank you for being here. Mr. Justice Musinga, President of the Court of Appeal, thank you for being here. Justice Oscar Angote, leadership is visible, and I see it when I see you. Thank you for what you're doing for us in this very important division of the court. My sister, the Cabinet Secretary for Land, and those are the many things that you said, your remarks are renewing. The importance of having people with relevant knowledge in the right place. My brother Otachi, umezoea kutukana, si ndio? Asante, Your Excellency, Deputy Governor Nairobi, for being here for us. My colleague judges, and particularly from this court, asante sana for excellent work. You're leading from very far in front. Honorable Commissioners of the Judicial Service Commission, our overseers, the Honorable Vice Chair, Macharia, and this beautiful girl here, thank you for being here for us. Usna and Teresia, thank you very much for being here. Sometimes I wonder whether we could actually survive without you. Asante sana all the time for coming even when you're not called. Our stakeholders, the Law Society. I wasn't surprised when Elena spoke. You see, certain cases are actually better resolved without lawyers around. I haven't said anything. And all of us, stakeholders in the justice chain, all of us here present for this very important day in the access of justice as regards land. It is my great honor to address you today at the commissioning of the Land Justice Working Group. It marks another milestone in the enhancement of land justice as championed by our courts. And it speaks to the growth of the Environment and Land Court, its divisions, and the vision and determination of its leadership to enhance access to justice. I thank you for ignoring the remark from the PJ that I do not know that ELC has 2 divisions. Thank you very much. Last July, during the ELC Judges Conference and the launch of the Environment and Planning Division and the Land Division of the ELC, I urged the ELC to deliberate on possible strategies and mechanisms that would link environment and land justice strongly to the institutional vision, our strategy. I said this was important because the ELC has a special jurisdiction of particular importance to our socio-economic, political, and cultural development. I was therefore most encouraged and excited when I was informed about the establishment of this Land Justice Working Group for Nairobi. The concept terms of reference and the expected outcomes of this initiative, I laud you at the ELC in Nairobi in consultation, constructive engagement, and consonance with your CUC for developing this people-centered justice strategy, ensuring that land justice works for the people and that the administration of land justice enables individuals and communal prosperity. It promotes social cohesion and ensures human dignity. These objectives are at the core of the social transformation agenda in the judiciary, in the judiciary's STARGE blueprint, which in turn is informed by the spirit and practices of our transformative constitution. I'll be paying very keen attention to the work of the working group and the outcomes therefrom, not only because these will be transformative in themselves, but importantly because they could form the benchmark for expanding the initiative, its methods and methodology to other counties, and indeed to other jurisdictional areas and courts. I urge you, ELC, right, and the team in particular, right from the outset, to embed a system of performance, measurement, and management that will enable you to track and improve your performance and achieve tangible results. I'll be coming around. You are under the judiciary, and when you are in these areas, I am your prefect for performance. Secondly, particularly in matters concerning land that are highly emotive and characterized by numerous complexities, integrity is paramount. The things the CS was talking about, the things Commissioner Njeru was talking about, who issues 2 titles? Who does? Are they all from River Road? And even if they were all from River Road, thankfully they are not. Actually, some, majority, I think, are issued by people who know that they should not be issuing them. So what is this thing we keep calling integrity? You must ensure that all is done to build and secure public confidence in the activities of your working group. That is a minimum you cannot discuss. Thirdly, please ensure that even as we work collaboratively and co-create and implement strategies and ideas to enhance justice, we must optimize and respect the distinct constitutional mandates of each organ and agency. I like to talk about constitutional lanes. Don't cross them. Stay in your lane, but please give us land justice. Congratulations to you, PJ, to ELC, to all of us at the judiciary, and particularly for you having been found fit to work in the working group and therefore been appointed to this very important organ. And I urge you, please, to remain cognizant of the significant responsibility that this appointment bestows on you and the solemn duty it demands of you. I wish you all the very best, and I assure you of support as you work collaboratively towards formulating strategies to expedite land justice and ensure that it is responsive to the needs of the people that we serve, the people that have employed us. It's not too difficult to do the right thing, and as we pray always in the national anthem, may justice be our shield and defender. And may the good Lord, the merciful God, bless us all here present. Bless the judiciary of Kenya, your guardian angel for justice, and bless the Republic of Kenya. Please join me in welcoming the Honorable, the Chief Justice of the Republic, who is also the President of the Court, to launch this very important working group. The Honorable, the Chief Justice of the Republic.
Thank you. May we please be seated? Thank you very much, my sister, the Honorable Deputy Chief Justice and Vice President of the Supreme Court. A very good afternoon, everybody. I recognize all of you in a very, very special way. My sister, the CS, Lance, and all those other titles. You deserve all of them. And I can assure you, you are in this position at a time such as now because Kenyans needed a lawyer, a woman of resolve to deal with our land issues. Congratulations. We wish you well. You are going to make it. You are going to resolve all those land disputes. And I wish you could have more forums to assure Kenyans that no Kenyan will lose their land through fraud. That is the message Kenyans are yearning for. Because the many times we wake up to hear somebody's house or property has been brought down by fraudsters, you wonder where to start. I think there is hope for us, and we are grateful for what you're doing. My colleagues, thank you very much for coming. The President of the Court of Appeal, the presiding Judge of ELC, thank you for your great leadership, and the entire court, my brother and sister judges in ELC. Thank you for figuring this out. I think you have figured it out. Thank you, my brother Otachi. He is my chair, the chair of chairs. He chairs all the constitutional commissions, and I sit in JSC, which is one of the commissions. So he is my chair, and always under him when we are talking about the 15 commissions. Thank you for being here. Thank you, our Deputy Governor, for coming and for those words of encouragement that will continue to work together. All of you here were carefully selected and invited. You are all very special to us, especially the committee that we are launching today, the working group of Nairobi Rand. You are very, very special to us, and we celebrate all of you. And thank you all for the wonderful speeches. I've listened to all of them. I think we are moving in the right direction, and we are going to figure it out, and we are going to get it right. Because if we can be able to duplicate this in every county, we have a land justice working group, I think we are going to figure it out. Thank you for beginning this, because this is a pilot and it is going to be duplicated in every county. We are going to figure out all our land problems. Thank you, our partners, led by FAO, OSNI, and Teresa. You're always there for us. We are so grateful for your support and for your prayers always holding our hand, even where we think we cannot make it. You always encourage us to keep moving. Thank you. So working together, all of us, we will make it. Like Mustafa said, we all want justice. Nobody wants a favor. All we want is an enabling environment to be sure when we invest our money, we will not lose it, and we'll never even lose our inheritance. That's all we are asking for, what the DCJ called the bare minimum. So for me, the launch of the Nairobi Land Justice Working Group is a testament to the commitment of the Environment and Land Court under the distinguished leadership of our presiding judge, Honorable Oscar Angote, and also the head of the Land Division, the Lady Justice Rusembugua, and all the judges of the Environment and Land Court, and including the work of the Court Users Committee. Your dedication and collaborative efforts have culminated in the conception of this multi-sectoral approach aimed at expediting land justice in Nairobi. Nairobi, of course, is the heart of our nation, and it is vital for our economic growth. It is indeed the hub for the region, and it was opportune for this working group to be launched in Nairobi. The Judiciary Strategic Blueprint, Social Transformation Through Access to Justice, has laid the foundation for our mission. It has envisaged a people-centered judiciary that not only addresses the justice needs of Kenyans, but also a way of empowering our citizens to become agents of their own justice. So Justice Omange, this is the way it should be. Everybody becomes an agent for justice. Because justice cuts across all of us. We want justice, we want fairness. This initiative goes beyond the conventional boundaries, seeking to foster an inclusive, participatory, accountable, and responsive justice system that truly serves the aspirations of our people, including the most marginalized and the vulnerable. And all the stories we've been told, they have captured the fact of the vulnerable people in our society, especially the elderly, and even the future generation, represented by the youth and the children. The Environment and the Land Court, as established in our Constitution, is holding a very critical mandate in addressing the historical problem that has come to be dubbed the land question, which the Land Commission is dealing with. This land question is even more acute in Nairobi, with the myriad of problems that we have been told which occur in the 4 zonal areas, and they span a wide range, including double allocation. And I can assure the CS, you must do what you have to do, what the law tells you to do. Do not worry that people will come to court because you have done your work. I'm always assured that I can never stop people from coming to court. So do what you have to do. And if they want to take it further and challenge it in court, let them do so. But never shy away from doing your work, because we must deal with this devil of double allocation, encroachment of public land, mix up during survey, which are done deliberately to cause confusion later on, the issue of adverse possession, lack of zoning and enforcement, informal settlements, renewal of leases, fraud. I was in another forum because I came late and we were talking about integrity. And, you know, our problem as a country is actually lack of integrity. That's why we have so many problems. And therefore, when it comes to land, I think we have to be firm and do what has to be done at all the agencies, Lands Office, DCI, and all the actors, as we have seen in the skit. We must do what we have to do. So the recent establishment of the Environment and Planning Division and the Land Division within the Nairobi City County signifies for us our unwavering commitment to improving efficiency and effectiveness in the adjudication of land disputes. This specialized approach is crucial for Nairobi, a city that not only serves as our capital, but also as the gateway to East and Central Africa. Nairobi's strategic significance cannot be overstated, contributing significantly to our national GDP and also playing a critical role in the realization of the vision of our Constitution, which is the social transformation promise. However, the journey towards achieving expedited land justice in Nairobi is fraught with the challenges. We have seen those challenges. We have seen how overwhelmed the judicial officers are digging into volumes and volumes of papers. This is why we congratulate the Environment and Land Court for making these remarkable strides in reducing backlog by improving the access to justice by embracing this multi-door approach to justice. These challenges of accessing justice, compounded by the unique dynamics of the land disputes in Nairobi, demand a concerted and innovative approach to the land justice administration, and that is exactly what you have done, working through the Court Users Committee and realizing we must work with all the stakeholders to find solutions, lasting solutions to our land. The establishment of the Nairobi Land Justice Working Group is such a bold step forward and such an innovative initiative born out of the collaborative efforts of the Nairobi City County Court Users Committee, which is poised to address the root causes of land disputes, systemic challenges, and formulate effective interventions by bringing together key stakeholders, including the judiciary, government ministries, and for Madam Hirina, I recognize the Law Society has a critical role to play, and the National Land Commission. We are embracing a very holistic approach to resolving land disputes where we are leaving no one behind. So I want to take this moment to specifically acknowledge and praise the invaluable work of the court users committees across our country. These multi-stakeholder forums are indeed the backbone of our efforts to address and eliminate the bottleneck in the delivery of justice. Everybody matters, and we want to move with everybody because justice belongs to all of us. And like we often say, we are not serving ourselves, we are serving Kenyans, and we must walk this journey with them. The role of the CUCs in our judiciary system cannot be overstated. CUCs are very crucial in bringing together various stakeholders within the justice sector. CUCs help us in fostering a collaborative spirit that is essential for devising innovative solutions to challenging, hindering the optimal delivery of justice. I also want to laud the bar bench committees that always advise us and encourage us on the best way to deliver service to our people. So, Law Society, we are not taking you for granted or forgetting you. You are part and parcel of the justice system, and you play a critical role. The Nairobi City County Court Users Committees, in particular, has exemplified this collaborative spirit in this initiative to form the Land Justice Working Group. This effort showcases how CUCs can effectively bring together representatives from different sectors. We brought the Ministry of Lands. We never imagined that we will one day be able to sit and dialogue with the Ministry of Lands, because we keep inviting them to give us documents. They don't give us documents. We invite them to come and testify in court. They don't come. These judges can tell you the number of orders, summonses, warrants of arrest they have issued to the ministry. Now we have a representative who will be sitting in the working group and being our contact person with the ministry. We really are grateful, Madam CS, and we thank you because you have shown real leadership in this ministry. So from all these different sectors working together, we are going to give you the technical support you require to develop your case management system at the Lands Office. And working with the partners here, I believe they will be more than willing even to help you digitize your system and connect it with our CTS. So those documents can just be sent online, and even the statements can be offloaded online. Isn't that possible? So we look forward to that interoperability within our systems, like we are working with the Wandlifu of the ODPP, and we are also looking forward to joining with the AG chambers, joining also with the police, so that we are all connected digitally. So all your dedication, the working group, the court user committee, the bar bench committee, and all the stakeholders in facilitating this dialogue that has really enhanced public participation through the engagement has shown us a good example of how collective action can lead to a very significant social transformation. Because these land disputes in Nairobi, this titling of our land at 30%, and you remember we started titling land at independence. It means people have slept on their jobs. People have thought it's such a big responsibility for us to wake up one day and decide to deal with the land issue. We have to deal with it, and we have to complete it, and there must be fairness and justice in this process. So the establishment of the task-oriented working group and the sub-CUC, as seen in the Land Justice Working Group, illustrates the proactive and active strategies employed by the CUCs to address the specific issues within the areas of our work. This approach not only allows for targeted interventions, but also ensures that the solutions devised are tailor-made to address the unique challenges faced in different regions and sectors of our justice system. As we move forward, let us continue to support and strengthen the court user committees. Their work is completely pivotal in making our justice system more participatory, inclusive, and responsive as envisaged under the judiciary's Tange blueprint. Through these efforts, we are not only able to identify and address the challenges facing our justice delivery system, but also to foster a sense of ownership and partnership among the stakeholders involved. The terms of reference for this working group outline a very clear and strategic path towards achieving the goals you have set. You will be identifying the root causes of the land problems and recommending interventions. You will also be formulating guidelines and adopting innovative justice approaches that will set the stage for a transformative impact on land justice in Nairobi. As we launch this working group today, let us be guided by the principle of justice and equity and the rule of law. Our collective efforts will not only expedite the resolution of land disputes, but also foster a people-centered land justice system that will be responding to our needs as a people of the Nairobi City County. Together, we will pave a way to enhance investor confidence, optimal land utilization, and ultimately the realization of the social transformation through access to justice. In closing, I want to extend my deepest appreciation to the presiding judge, Land and Environment Court, and all the judges therein for your initiative that has come to fruition. I also want to congratulate the court for your case clearance rate, which is 100%. They have been able to complete their cases and also to hit into the backlog. And let me tell you, there has been so many jurisdictions coming here to Kenya to benchmark on our ELC court. So, Madam CS, let's send you also to the, is it the executive or to the politicians? Because we read in the papers that there is an attempt to close or to merge the ELC and the ELRC with the High Court. Please don't take us back to where we were. That is really, that is crawling back on the gains that we have made. We have just figured out the land issue. So if you take us back to the mixed grill of all the cases together, we will be going backwards, we will not be going forward. So I have written a letter to the National Dialogue Committee to tell them to drop that item of merging our specialized courts, because we'll be going back and crawling back on the gains of the 2010 Constitution. The journey ahead may be challenging, as we move forward to confront all these problems. But with our shared commitment and collaborative spirit, I'm confident that we will achieve our objectives. I thank all of you for your attention, and now it is my distinguished honor and privilege to launch the Nairobi Working Group on Land Issues in Nairobi. I wish you all the best. God bless you, and I also commit to give you more than 100% support for you to be able to realize the objectives that you have set for yourselves. Thank you very much for coming and for listening.
Honorable the Chief Justice, we wish to thank you for your message. And we were informed that when our presiding judge presented the concept paper, you embraced it 100% and committed that you will personally launch it because it speaks to social transformation through access to justice. One thing I noticed is the chairman of the Cohesion Commission. As speakers were standing here, he was nodding his head all the time, saying, peace and justice is coming to Nairobi. Thank you for that. My work, the Chief Justice, is to invite the members of the working group. I will call them here so that you may say your blessing. And I will request Honorable Jude Omange and Catherine Wamboi to come and help with the arrangements here. The working group comprises of 4 judges of the Environment and Land Court, led by a powerful, passionate woman, Lady Justice Lucy Bubwa. She will be the first one I will be calling here. Honorable Lady Justice Bubwa, you will help us to arrange how we start. Honorable Lady Justice Omange is part of it. Justice Ogutu, Honorable Justice Ogutu. The Registrar of the ELC Court, Rose Makungu. Honorable Chief Justice, we are not leaving our magistrates behind because we all do this together. So we have Honorable S.A. Opande. The Nairobi County government has given us none other but their CEC in charge of lands, Honorable Gadoita Mwangi. We have Cecilia Kanyoni from the State Department of Lands. Wanjala Nasimiu, Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops. The Law Society of Kenya, Elizabeth Dongo. National Land Commission, we have Brian Ecol. From the Attorney General's Office, the indefatigable Counsel, Juguna Alan Kamau. We also have a representative from the EACC, Patricia Chebet. Again, from the Ministry of Lands, we have George Getonga. There are various sectors in the Department of Land, that is why we have various representatives. Then from DCI, we have Hilary Mutai. From the Department of Survey, Wilfred Muchai. IDLO, Sheila Shiro Mogeni. And to ensure that we are properly resourced, we have our partner and friend, Husna Barak. We have Frederick Otieno, Legal Resources Foundation. NCAJ, we have Sylvia Yantet. Now, I will now be inviting the Honorable Chief Justice in the company of the Deputy Chief Justice, the Minister for Lands, the PJ, the presiding judge of the Court of Appeal, the chair of NLC, Deputy Governor Nairobi, and Commissioner Macharia to accompany the CJ to commission the working group. The CJ will be reading from a very big book and utter her blessings to the working group. Madam CJ, it is your turn. I'll be requesting that the movable microphone be brought near the CJ to remind the working group of its mandate. There's a movable microphone on that head. Please bring it close to the CJ. After she reads, she will hand it over to the chair of the working group, who is also the presiding judge of the Land Division. Milimani.
The Nairobi Land Justice Working Group. This is your mandate. 1. Identify the root causes of land disputes and recommend interventions. Can you say we commit?
We commit.
2. Address systemic and endemic challenges in the administration of land justice. We commit. 3. Expedite land justice through adoption of innovative approaches, including alternative justice systems and court-annexed mediation.
We commit.
Number 4, formulate guidelines to expedite land justice.
We commit.
Engage with the public and stakeholders to secure lasting solutions to land disputes and foster a prosperous and harmonious future.
We commit.
God be with you.
Presiding judge, you now take up the responsibility. We have committed and we shall deliver. Thank you very much. I will now hand over to Catherine Wambui in the next.
Thank you very much. The working group, you can take your seats except the following. The Honorable CJ, Honorable DCJ, Honorable CS, PJ, and the Chair. Chair is Judge Bogo. So I'll be calling the following people to come and join them. All the judges actually, whether ELC or other judges, including PCOA, all judges. All judges come and join them. And please allow me to include the commissioners. There are 2 commissioners. DG join the vote. Chair NLC, high table, come and join. Thank you. The next photo will be the CUC and the deans of the various schools of law. The CUC is next. Please be coming closer in the interest of time. So the core group, please don't move. That is the CJ, DCJ, CS, PJ, and Chair, don't move. The rest, please, you can retreat. CUC, please. Yeah. The CUCs, the deans. And the next photo will be the ELC deputy registrars. Registrar and deputy registrars, get ready. You can approach here just for ease of, to save on time. The DRs, please come, and the registrar. And the final one will be the court. All the court staff, this is your moment. All the staff members, I understand you don't want a photo? No, you have to move faster. I think that will bring us to the end of that session because the staff are too far away. The staff are here. Move, please. Hurry up, come straight to the stage. Sorry. You can use this entrance where I am also. Staff members, kindly move. You can use this in entrance where I am, if there's crowding that side.
pale hapo utaonekana.
And this is our last photo. I thank you most sincerely. Thank you.
Honorable Chief Justice, our Deputy Chief Justice, the CS, we have come to the end of our session. And thank you very much for being very patient with us. Reverend Dr. Samuel Kobia will say a last prayer for us. But as he says, after the prayers, we have refreshments. Please don't go away. Just grab a bite and then you can have. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you for leading us through this session, my lady.
Shall we stand up for prayer? Let us be silent before God as we say this closing prayer. Our dear loving and gracious God, we want to give you thanks for being with us since we started this function. It has gone well, and we give you thanks and praise. We thank you for the judiciary, the leadership of the Chief Justice and Deputy Chief Justice, and all those that work under them. This is the arm of government that is critical to our lives as Kenyans, where justice will be defended by this arm of government. We thank you for the executive, remembering the CJ, the cabinet secretary, who is with us here representing the executive. We want to thank you even for the legislature. It is together that they are brought together, and the symbol of unity by His Excellency the President. We know the challenges are many before us, and particularly the one about land. As we know, the very first murder ever recorded in human history is about the land use, where Cain killed Abel. That curse remains with humanity to this day. But we know with you it can be resolved. And part of it is by creating this special group that we committed to you. It has been commissioned by the Chief Justice. The expectations are very high. It's a pilot project. And we want to believe that you have what it takes, and you have the wherewithal to make it succeed. We commit you and pray that God will guide you. And now as we come to the end of this important function, we ask you to dismiss us with your blessings and bless the refreshments that are before us, and so that we will always remember to thank you for your blessings of good health and all that makes it possible for us to come every morning to work, to serve your people, and by serving them, we serve you. For in Jesus' name, we pray and believe. Amen. Amen. Thank you for forcing me to.